If you take sex out of the equation, a lot of people that are together don't have anything to offer each other. Hey babe, welcome back to my channel. I'm Egypt Rodriguez, and I'm so excited you decided to join me today because this channel was made just for you. Here we discuss self-care, personal growth and development, relationships, faith, and so much more. This is where faith meets femininity and the glow-ups are God-led. We're becoming her in His image. Today we are discussing abstinence, celibacy, and I'm putting y'all all in my business, okay? Before we get too deep into the video, I want to define these two terms and I want to give the difference, because I can't tell y'all how many times I'm in conversation talking to people, I mention that I'm abstinent, or people try to argue with me that no, you're celibate, or I'm scrolling online and people are saying they're celibate but really they mean that they're abstinent. Like, I just feel like there is a big miscommunication of knowledge. I think a lot of people feel like if you are not a virgin, if you have had sexual intercourse, you cannot be abstinent. And that is 100% incorrect. Honestly, for the people who are misinformed, I'm not mad at them, because for the longest amount of time, I would be saying I'm celibate, I'm celibate, I'm celibate, until I actually learned what the true definition of it was. And to be honest, I really got the true meaning of it from reading my Bible. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, right? So verse 1, it says, "Now regarding the questions you asked in your letter, yes, it is good to abstain from sexual relations." This is the New Living Translation, by the way. "But there is so much sexual immorality. Each man should have his own wife and each woman should have her own husband." In biblical times, this was solely, about being virgins, because they weren't just sexually fornicating if you were people of God, for the most part. Where it talks about the sexual immorality, those were people who were not God's people, mostly living like that. So that's where the confusion comes in. If we jump down to verse 7, it says, "But I wish everyone were single just as I am, yet each person has a special gift from God of one kind or another." Basically, he had took a vow of celibacy, and he was basically saying here that was a gift to him, the gift of celibacy. He was focused on doing God's work. He was not taking a wife. He was, he said, "Hey, I wish everyone was single like me, but if you can't marry, if you can't control yourself because of your lack of self-control," I say this as, a concession, not a command. Take a wife. When you are saying like, "Hey, I'm celibate," you're basically saying you basically about to be a priest or a nun, and you never plan on having sex ever. Versus you saying, "I'm abstinent, I'm abstaining from sex for a period of time," which should be until I'm married. So that's the major difference. And to be honest, I really just had to break that down and get that off my chest, because it just be so annoying when I be like, "I'm abstinent," and they be like, "You're celibate." I'm abstinent. Do not play with me, because I want to be married one day and I want to do married people things. Okay, so moving right along. Now that we got the formalities out the way, and now that we have a clear understanding of the two meanings and definitions of these words, let's go ahead and get into my journey, why I chose abstinence. And forewarning, it's about to get a little spicy, okay? We live in such a world and we live in such a society that is driven by lust. Okay, like you turn on your TV, like every show you watch, somebody's having a sex. It's always a sex scene. It's always kissing. It's always that. It's always something. Like, lust is pushed on us. You go scrolling on Instagram, you see people clapping their booty. You see men shirtless in gray sweatpants and all. Like, the world is full of just lust. And they really push sex and fornicating. If we're being honest, that is pushed on us. So at some point, between me growing up in a church until, being an adult, I fell into the trap. I fell into the trap of lust, and I did not respect my body as a temple, meaning I did not follow the commands that God gave us and wait until marriage to have sex. I had sex, I fornicated, I was not taking care of my temple in the way that I should have as, you know, a woman of God. Now let me go ahead and say this, because I feel like there's a lot of ignorance too when a woman says she's abstinent. Oh, some of the things I have heard about myself. People just automatically assume, oh, you was just out here throwing it around and doing this and doing that, and now you got to put it on ice. I've never been a promiscuous woman. So let me go ahead and say that, because people love to try to, I don't even know. Let me just say that. The whole point is, regardless of if you slept with 10 people or you slept with 3 people, you still defiled your temple. You know what I mean? Like, you still did not follow the commands that God set in place. So regardless, you were a fornicator. Sin is sin. Your amount of sin, or you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't, whatever. Sin is sin. Why I chose to be abstinent. Child, let's go ahead and get into it. So currently I am on an abstinence journey, and this is not my first time being abstinent. I tried to be abstinent in 2020, and I actually was saying, oh, I'm celibate, whatever. Didn't know the difference, clearly. But I was on that journey in 2020. However, that journey in 2020, it was like almost like it was set up to fail. It was not going to last long because I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. In 2020, I was dating this guy on and off, and I just got to the point where I was just hurt. And I was hurt, and I was like, you know what? I am tired of men. I am tired of like being there for you, doing all this stuff for you, like just giving my all to this person to get nothing in return. So I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not being with you no more. This is over with. And I literally was like, I'm celibate. That's what I said to myself. And I literally was not dating men. I was not involved with people and, you know, things of that nature. And I did that for 8 months. It didn't last long. It didn't last. And the reason that journey did not last was because I did it on the basis of someone had hurt me. I feel like when women go into a journey, or even when some men, I can't speak for men, but I feel like when people go into a journey with that mindset where it's kind of like, I'm hurt, I'm disgusted, I am, you know, just, I need a break from people, I need to cool. It don't last long, because the moment you get around somebody that you like, or somebody's giving you butterflies in your stomachs and things like that, they smelling good, whatever, you ready to drop them drawers and spread them legs to the east and the west and bust it on the wall. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't gonna last long. So 2022, God starts pulling on my heart. He's basically like, hey, you about to lose the friends you have. You done made your friends idols. You about to lose this man. I'm about to show you for the 10th, 29th, 38th time who he is. Like, it was just so much going on. God was basically like, hey, your whole life's about to change. I'm calling you to me. You're basically about to answer this call. It got to the point where my body, literally my body, started rejecting this man. I would be in so much pain when we were being intimate, and I was just like, this is so weird. Like, I'm going to the doctor because I'm thinking this man gave me something, or like something's going on, and they're like, girl, nothing's wrong with you. Like, literally my body, like, God was trying to send me every sign, every signal he could to be like, hey, leave this man alone. Every time after, I remember feeling worse and worse about myself. Every time after, and still going back, and still going back, and still going back. And that is why I don't judge women when they are in these situations or they go through things, because it's kind of just like, sometimes you just got to keep going back until you wake up one day. Like, sometimes that's literally what it is. Like, I've been there. You know, if nobody else don't admit it, I will admit it. But so I just kept going back, and each time, after every time, I just felt like disgusted with myself, like disgusted each and every time. And each time it's like the scales were like slowly slipping away, the scales were like dissolving, and each time I'm just more and more disgusted with him. I'm like, you just disgust me. Like, and the last time that we were intimate, that I was intimate, in the last almost 2 years, after that last time, I cried. I sobbed. I went in the bathroom. This man was laying in my bed. I went in the bathroom, and I'm sobbing in the bathroom because my heart was so heavy, and I just knew, It's like I knew I shouldn't be doing this. I knew I was like disappointed. I don't even know if my brain was really thinking like you're disappointing God, but I just know I was disappointing myself. And it's like I just felt like I was disappointing God. Like I just felt like this isn't right. I felt like I shouldn't be doing this. And then I just felt like, God, I've been wanting to get out of this. I just don't know how to get out of it. But that last time, it's like something just broke in me. Like God really just woke me up. And I was like, this man is never gonna see me again. Like, baby, that's it. Like, it's over with. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't nothing. And so after that, basically, I literally at the end of 2023, I think it was like late November, early December, I was crying. And I was in my apartment. I just went into heavy praise and worshiping God, and tears were streaming down my face. Like the presence of the Holy Spirit was so heavy, so real. And it was almost like I just could rest, because it was like in that moment, I finally went home. I finally came home. It was just like God was holding me with his arms around me. And it was just like, God, I'm so sorry for how I've been out here living. I am so sorry for how I, have just been disrespecting you, disrespecting my body. I'm so sorry for the things that I have done. It's like, I couldn't even get words out, but God heard my heart, and like tears were just streaming down. And I told God that day, I was like, God, I fully submit to you. I fully submit to your will. I fully submit to your way. I fully submit to whatever it is that you want me to do. And that's basically the journey I've been on since. Over the last like almost 2 years, I've just been focusing on growing with God and just walking in his will, to be honest. This time around, the reason why this journey has been working is because it's not about some man hurt me and I am off of men. This time around, the journey works, and it's working well, because this time around, I only want to please God. Like, yes, I may not have always listened, but now that I have an understanding, I want to abstain from sex. I want to wait until I'm married. Until you bless me with my husband, I will not give my body to anyone. This time around, it's just like I morally feel not obligated, but I made a vow to God. So I am obligated. It's like, I'm not about to let no temporary fun, no temporary pleasure, no temporary nothing come in. And now God got to break me, and he got to beat me and strip me of some things because we might have had a few minutes of pleasure. Oh, baby, heck no. I'm not doing that. I feel like when you're abstinent, you just literally look at the world through such a different lens. Like, even when I like talk to men, or I look at men now, or men try to like approach me, it just be like, babe, we have a 2-minute conversation, and I cut it short, because I can just see so much. Like, when they tell you that clarity is real, baby, that clarity is so real. And I love that, because what a lot of people don't realize is, if you take sex out of the equation, a lot of people that are together don't have anything to offer each other. A lot of times, I've been there, a lot of times you don't like the person you with, but you like their stuff. Like, you like how they perform in bed, you like what they do to you, you like whatever, but you really don't even like them for real. So you end up in a toxic, abusive situation. Now you got kids, and just all these things come out of you just having sex, when all you gotta do is keep your legs closed, baby. The more I grow in God and the deeper I go, it's like you just realize, like, sex is so spiritual. Like, sex is literally one of the most spiritual things you could ever do, and we do it so casually. And then we be having the nerve to be in a bedroom talking about it's yours and it's this and it's that. Oh, baby, we don't even be knowing the spells we be casting and what we be doing to ourselves and the soul ties we be creating. And I'm gonna do a whole video on that, baby, because it took some breaking and some shaking to get them ties up off of me, okay? A lot of times when you are out here with these men, with these women, these are not even your people. You're not even gonna be with them. You're not gonna be married to them. You might have been together with them for 5 years, 10 years, however long. Why would you even want to be together with somebody that long and not married? I don't know. That's your business. But it's like, these people be temporary, and a lot of times you with these people, and they're blocking your husband from coming. They're blocking your wife from coming. I will say, Within the last almost 2 years, I also have not dated. I have not truly dated for real in these last 2 years. I think I talked to like one guy for 2 weeks and that was it. I've been so focused on, it's like when you're abstinent and you don't have like those hormones raging in you trying to have sex, it's like you don't even be focused on none of that. I've been so focused on building my relationship with God, building my business, building this channel, doing so much more. So I honestly haven't had much practice in the field of being abstinent around someone that I actually like. And I'm pretty sure that that is gonna come with a whole bunch of challenges, you know? When that bridge does get here, like I said, morally it's in me now to where it's like, I know that if I'm not married and I have sex, I'm literally breaking a vow to God. And because God honors covenant so much, there's consequences for that. Listen, I have been through some break-ins from God. I have been through some beatings. I don't want to go through that. I promise you, I don't want to go through that. So I am excited to start back dating because I do plan on starting back dating soon. I just, you know, I don't know how it's gonna be, so stay tuned, okay? I will say this, being abstinent, the longer you go, it gets easier, but it's also like, it gets harder at the same time. Like, I know that sounds weird, but it gets easier, but it gets harder. This is me being 100% transparent. I was masturbating a lot. And I feel like when you're doing that, that's not even being 100% abstinent, because you still are dealing with a spirit of lust, like a strong spirit of lust. And when I was like, okay, I'm abstinent, baby, I was getting it on with myself, okay? Because I was just in my head, I was like, okay, well, don't nobody know me like I know me, you know? And I was just like, okay, God, but I'm not with nobody else. I'm not doing it with nobody else. So I don't see why I can't touch myself and get it on with me. But at the end of the day, it is still lust that you're dealing with. And so I had to break free of that as well. So now I'm actually proud to say that I have not been masturbating at all. And why do I feel like I was just in an AA meeting when I said that? This is how you know when you abstinent for real, okay? Because when that ovulation, it's something about a woman in her ovulation period, baby, if you know, you know, okay? And even when my ovulation time has been coming on, I've just been praying extra hard. I still do not masturbate, touch myself, nothing. So I'm actually abstinent for real. And I'm actually proud of that, okay? This November will make 2 years. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't want to make it to 2 years of being abstinent. Like, I want to be married before November. And I know if it's in God's will, it's possible, you know, hey, it could happen. However, if God has me to get married a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, I am going to remain abstinent for however long, because that is the vow that I made to God and I take that serious. Hopefully the person that I date is abstinent or willing to be abstinent until we're married. So I don't know, child. I'm gonna keep y'all updated, okay? Well, this is my journey. I'm so happy you stopped in to chat with me. If you've made it this far to my video, as always, thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm just curious, are there any other abstinent people in the world? Because when I be saying I'm abstinent, people be looking like, huh? Why you want to do that? Like, where's all the abstinent people? Let me know your journey. Share your stories down in the comments below. And subscribe and hit that button and join the family. Until next time, see you later, babes.